It's not a calamity to die with dreams unfulfilled, but it is a calamity to have no dreams. I want to share something with you this morning. I have a dream. I have a dream that in November of 2010, we're going to change the House of Politicians back to the House of Representatives the way it is supposed to be.
That's right. Yeah.
I have a dream that we are going to reestablish some balance of power in Washington, D.C. in November 2010. And I also have a dream that when the spending revolt is over, spending will never be the same again with the taxpayers' money in Washington, D.C. That's my dream for November 2010. I have a dream that we're going to return to those principles that our founding fathers envisioned as the foundation for the greatest country in the world: life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. It didn't say anything about a department of happy. It said the pursuit of happiness. Those are the ideals that our founding fathers established that helped to create the greatest country in the world, and some of us want to keep it that way. There are three things that I challenge you to do in order for my dream and your dream and the dreams of our children and our grandchildren to come true. First, we've got to stay united. We've got to stay united in our efforts to take back our government. We've got to stay united as an organization, America for Prosperity. We've got to stay united in this citizens movement that's moving across this nation at breakneck speed, but the people in Washington, D.C. don't have a clue, and that's a good thing. That's a good thing that they don't have a clue. But we got to stay united, because the liberals are so desperate now, they've gone past what I call the sin tactics. They shift the subject, ignore the facts, because as it turns out, the fact is that stimulus spending bill is not working. So they keep shifting the subject and trying to distract the American people to not pay attention to the facts. Well, you know, to paraphrase Jack Nicholson, liberals can't handle the facts. That's why they want to shift the subject.
That's right. They
ignore the facts. So now that they are desperate to stop us, they are desperate to slow us down. They are desperate to keep that grip around government's neck for the benefit of the politicians and the so-called political elite. They've now resorted to name calling. They want to label you and me racist because we are patriots. Now that's messed up logic right there.
Yes, it is.
They want to now label us as racist. It is a ridiculous argument, and the good news is it has backfired. It has backfired. So we got to stay united. Stay united. Secondly, we got to stay informed. That's why you're here. We got to stay informed because stupid people are ruining this country.
That's right.
Are destroying America. Because over 50% of the people can be persuaded based upon a slick speech or a slick campaign ad. That's why those of us that are learning the facts and sharing it with our friends and neighbors and families, we have to stay informed. And then the third thing we have to do, we got to stay united. We've got to stay informed so we will be armed with the weapons we need to convert those that can be converted. We've not trying to save everybody. We're trying to save the savable. And the numbers are on our side, folks. There's an ongoing Gallup survey, a poll, that says that conservatives outnumber liberals 2 to 1. Moderates outnumber liberals 1.5 to 1. The numbers are on our side, but we have got to get our fellow conservatives to get off the sofa and off their anchovies, because November is coming.
That's right.
That's our job. Stay united, stay informed, and stay inspired, because they want you to believe that we cannot do this. They want us to believe that we should save our energy. Let me tell you what inspires me. Back in 2006, I was diagnosed with stage 4 cancer. It was in my liver and my colon. My surgeon, the second surgeon, not the first one, I had to get a second opinion. The surgeon said, you got about a 30% chance of being alive 5 years from now. 30% chance. I said, okay, doc, what do we have to do to solve this problem? You see, that was just my natural business instinct. Let's figure out how we solve the problem. And we did. I had to go through chemotherapy. I had to have double surgery. I had to go through an intensive chemotherapy chemotherapy again. And then 3 weeks ago, I got my latest test results and CAT scan. And it said that after 4 years, I have been totally cancer-free for 4 years. 4 years. Now I tell you that because that was God Almighty saying, Herman, not yet. Not yet. I got something for you to do. And the first thing that I want you to do is to help take back our government in November of 2010. So my inspiration comes from God Almighty. And what we have to do for this nation. Not yet. The other inspirational story that I always like to refer to that inspires me, because many of you know a little bit about my background, and you know that I've always been put in situations that were not supposed to be doable. I love it when somebody says, Herman, it can't be done. You see, when I was a physics minor at Morehouse College, we learned about the bumblebee. You know, the bumblebee aerodynamically is not supposed to fly. You know, for decades, PhD students have been running aerodynamic mathematical models on the bumblebee to prove that the bumblebee flies. Now, you and I got good sense. We know that they can fly because we see them fly. But yet the mathematicians want to prove it using the sophisticated mathematical models that they use to design airplanes and aircraft and rocket flight. And so the PhD students, they will get some helpless little bumblebees, put them in a wind tunnel, measure the aerodynamics of that little fat body, the little flappy wings, and get some epsilons and some deltas, and they put it into the equations of motion, and they run it, and the computer comes back and says, the sucker can't fly. So they think that maybe they made a mistake. So they get some more helpless little bumblebees and put them in the wind tunnel, and they get more measurements of aerodynamic properties of the bumblebee and some more epsilons and deltas, and put it in a bigger computer, in a faster computer. And the bigger, faster computer comes back and says, the sucker still can't fly. There's only one reason the bumblebee flies. He didn't get the memo that said he could not fly. The bumblebee believes he can fly. I have a dream that we can take back our government, and I believe we are going to start today and make it a reality November 2010. happen, we are going to stay united, we are going to stay informed, and we are going to stay inspired. We are going to stay inspired. And why do I believe we're going to make this happen? Because we've got bumblebee power. For November 2010, and I